Hey there, my name is Anton, and today we'll talk about investing. But before we get to that, a bit about me. I was born in Russia, Moscow, or as I like to say, upstate Moscow. Small little town, about an hour drive from Moscow. Then around 13, my family immigrated to New York, and I went with them, of course. Myself, my parents, and my brother, who's 5 years younger than me. And since 13, I lived in New York, basically most of my life. I'm 40 now. Now I'm married. I have two kids, Renee and Claire, two girls, 4 and 6. And I spend most of my time either working or spending time with the family. And I work for a big bank on Wall Street as a software engineer of sorts. The way I got into software is when I was 13, this was right after we immigrated to New York. My parents bought me a computer. This must have been 1993. So internet did not yet exist. And there was beginnings of the internet. There was this thing called America Online, which was sort of a pre-internet thing. There were also these BBSs, or bulletin boards, that were online that you could dial into. So you had the special modem that you dialed the number, and that's how you connected to one of those services. And so I got interested in that and got interested in programming and creating different programs that do little things. Usually there would be graphics. They would draw some sort of a graph on the screen or simple games. Ultimately, that led me to be interested in computer science. And so that's what I went for in college. I went to the NYU School of Engineering, and I studied computer science for 4 years. I learned different programming languages such as C++, Java, Perl at the time. And I also learned some fundamentals about computers and how they operate. When graduating, I was looking for a job and found a job with a big Wall Street bank. Believe it or not, big Wall Street banks like Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all of them have many different systems, and all of those systems need to be built, rebuilt, improved, etc. And so I got a job doing that, and I've been doing that for the past 19 years, all in the same company. Even though I've been there 19 years, I'd like to say that I had about 10 different jobs because these big corporations and big banks in particular are so diverse that you could do a job for a year, then switch it up, do another job for a year. You can grow. And so right now I have 4 different teams under me, in total about 100 people. And what I'm doing today is very different from what I was doing 19 years ago. I recorded the next bit, me talking about investing, but then I watched it and it was pretty boring. So I decided that I can try to make it a little better. Hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Let's talk about money. Say you have $100. What could you do with it? Well, you could go to a mall and buy yourself a bunch of stuff or go see a concert. This is called spending. You could put them into a box and hold on to it for a while. This is called saving. Or you could give it to someone and expect to get more money later. And that's what is called investing. Investing is nothing but taking the money you have, giving it to someone, and expect that in return, you will receive more money later on. Let's go through a few examples to illustrate this. We'll start super simple. The lottery. You buy a lottery ticket and you hope that you're going to win the lottery. In some ways, it's the simplest form of investments. Think about what you're doing there. You go to the grocery store, you have $5. You buy a lottery ticket. Then you wait for the number to come out and you see if the lottery ticket is the winning one. And if it is, you get back sometimes as much as $5 million. So you gave $5 to someone, and later on, there's a chance that you get back $5 million. Now, in all investments, it's important to ask the following questions. How much can I expect to get back? How long will it take? And what are the chances of losing some or all of my money? And finally, the really important question, where is that money actually going? Now, if you understand this last one, you will be able to answer all of the above questions with confidence. All right, so let's stick to the lottery example and try to answer these questions. When you bought that ticket, you gave the money to the clerk, but it's not the clerk that is running the lottery. The clerk is just selling the tickets. Out of your $5, he might have kept 5 cents, but the rest he sent back to the state because the lottery is ran by the government. So the government sold 2 million tickets. Everyone bought them at $5 each. Now the government collected $10 million. And then they picked one ticket at random and said, you are the winning one. We have $10 million. We're going to keep half to ourselves and we're going to give half to you. And that's the fundamentals of how the lottery works. With that in mind, let's answer our 3 questions. How much can you expect to get back? Easy. 5 million if you win. Nothing if your ticket is not the lucky one. How long will it take? About a week, whenever the numbers are released. And what are the chances of losing some or all of the money? Extremely high. In fact, you're almost guaranteed to lose all the money you put into the lottery. Because by design, almost everybody loses all their money. Lottery is just another mechanism for government to collect money from people. So we conclude that lottery is not a great investment. Let's take a different example. Say your friend starts a lemonade stand. They just make some lemonade, stand in front of their house and sell it, and they make $50. Then your friend thinks about it and wonders, if he can sell a lot more lemonade, if only he had a lot more lemons, and if only he was selling on a busier street, and perhaps if there was a big ad somewhere telling people about his lemonade stand. He sums this all up and realizes that he needs $500 to expand his little lemonade stand into a real lemonade business. He doesn't have $500, so he comes to you and tells you, hey, can you give me $500? And I will go and start a lemonade business. When I sell all the lemonade, I will make back your $500 plus $200 on top of it. And when I do, I will give you back your $500 plus half of my earnings. So you will get back $600 in total. Let's answer our questions. How much can you expect to get back? Well, $600 or $100 more than you put in. How long will it take? Probably a few weeks or months until your friend builds the lemonade business. What are the chances of losing some or all of your money? It's possible. There are many things that could go wrong. Perhaps your friend won't be able to sell all the lemonade, or runs into other issues, like not being able to sell on a busy street, or lemons going bad. However, you trust your friend, and he came through for you in the past. So you think about it, and you decide that your friend has a good idea, so you give him $500. The investment might be risky, and so long as this is not your last $500, it might be worth the risk. Let's take one final example, the bank. You go to a local bank and you put in $100, and they promise to give you back $102 a year later. And they assure you that you will definitely get back $102, guaranteed. Before we ask the questions, let's just understand how this is possible. The bank is not just holding onto your money. Actually, they let others borrow your money from the bank. And when they do, they want others to pay them back a lot more than $102 that they promised to give you back. They want them to pay back $120 or sometimes more. And then they give you back $102 and keep the difference to themselves. That's how the banks make money. On top of that, your money is protected by the government while it's sitting in the bank. So if something was to happen to the bank, you'll still get your money back. Okay, with that in mind, the 3 questions. How much can you expect to get back? $102 or $2 more than you put in. And how long will that take? 1 year. But you can take your money out anytime. And what are the chances of losing some or all of that money? None. You're definitely going to get back all your money. So putting $100 into the bank is a very safe investment. However, as we just saw, your money will grow very, very slowly. Let's sum it all up and introduce some fancy terms to the concepts we talked about. Investing is the act of committing capital, that's your money, to something, the lottery, your friend's business, or the bank, and expecting to get back a return. More money later. How much to expect to get back is called return on investment. How long will it take is called time horizon. And the chances of losing some of all your money is called risk. Hopefully the concepts are clear. Everything else will build on top of these themes, so it's important to understand the basics, even if they seem easy. Thanks for listening, and good luck with your investments.